Civil War II is one of my absolute favorite Marvel Comics storylines, okay? So if you guys don't have time to read it, which you should, it's a quick read. It's a really, really, really good read. But if you don't, I'm going to explain it in under 5 minutes. So here we go. I'm Tessa with mamasgeeky.com. At the beginning of this storyline, the Terrigen Mist is going around the Earth and turning certain people who have the Inhumans gene into Inhumans. Basically, the easiest way to explain it is that the Terrigen Mist causes people who have the Inhumans gene inside them to be wrapped in a cocoon until they become Inhuman. It unleashes their Inhuman genes, and then when the cocoon hatches, they have their Inhuman powers. So the whole storyline is around this guy named Ulysses, okay? And he becomes an Inhuman. His Inhuman power is pretty crazy, guys. Like, he can see futures. Not the future, right? A potential future. So the Inhumans, like Medusa and Lockjaw, find him and take him in to help him. The first tip Miss Marvel gets from the Inhumans is that a Celestial is coming to Earth and could potentially basically destroy the Earth. So she gets all the superheroes together. They're all ready. They're there when the Celestial shows up and they defeat it. So they're all excited. They throw a huge party. In fact, Tony Stark, Iron Man, has everyone at his place and he's like, drinks are on me, guys. At his party, he asked Miss Marvel how she knew where the Celestial was going to be. They get into a conversation with the Inhumans, and long story short, they find out about Ulysses. Immediately, Iron Man is like, whoa, this isn't cool. We shouldn't mess with potential futures. I don't think this is the way to go. Miss Marvel's very much like, if we can stop things before it happens, great. If we can find out that this person, for example, is going to murder somebody, just arrest them. Which is kind of crazy. Like, I was immediately Team Iron Man on this one. The next tip the Inhumans give to Miss Marvel is where to find Thanos. Okay, Rhodey and Miss Marvel are kind of a thing, and Rhodey happens to be there when the Inhumans tell her, and they go to get Thanos. Now, mission accomplished, they capture him. However, Rhodey dies, and She-Hulk was really close to death, like on her deathbed, okay? So Iron Man is ticked. He is not happy. He said, listen, I told you guys already, this is crazy, and now you've killed my best friend. He says basically, Carol, Miss Marvel, you killed Rhodey. You did it. So that's where they differ, and that's where they start to battle. You know, Iron Man says this isn't okay, and Miss Marvel says if we can stop bad things from happening, let's do it. Iron Man, when he learns about Rhodey dying, kind of goes crazy, and he actually captures Ulysses just so that he can scan his brain and map his brain so he can study it. And he basically discovers these visions are just algorithms, right? It's just coding. It's just taking in all sorts of information, his brain is, and just popping out potential futures. Ulysses sees Hulk killing like all the Avengers, so they show up to see Bruce Banner to talk to him about it, which Bruce is like, I haven't hulked out in years, like I've been so good, what's going on, guys? And he starts to get really mad, and Hawkeye is there, Clint Barton, and he actually shoots and kills Bruce Banner. Now, he does this because he says Bruce Banner went to him and said, listen, if I'm close to hulking out again, here's this arrow that will kill me. Kill me. Do it. Just kill me. I don't want to be Hulk again. I don't want to do that. So that's what happened. Now, Hawkeye goes on trial because it's like, you know, is that okay? Can you just kill someone? Is it an assisted suicide? What's going on? Honestly, was he going to Hulk out? He was getting mad. Hawkeye says he saw his eyes start to flash green, but like we couldn't even see that in the comics. So like Hawkeye ends up going free. During a battle, Ulysses has a vision, and he's actually away with the Inhumans. He's not even on Earth. And somehow all the superheroes involved in this battle, they see the vision, okay? And what it is it's Spider-Man. I mean, it's intense. It's Spider-Man killing Cap, guys. And by the way, Cap is Team Iron Man on this one, which I kind of think is amazing. So right then, Miss Marvel, in the middle of the fight, says, let's arrest Spider-Man. And Iron Man's like, this is ridiculous. Spider-Man is a little kid, okay? He's Miles Morales Spider-Man, by the way, in this one. He's not Peter Parker. Captain America himself says, what do you want to do, kid? And Spider-Man's like, I just want to go home. And Captain America's like, then go home. Well, Spider-Man decides to show up on the steps of the Capitol, basically to prove, hey, this is something that is not going to happen. And Cap decides, you know what, I'm going to go show up too. Miss Marvel and Iron Man both show up at the Capitol steps too and just start fighting each other. Now, in the meantime, Ulysses is inside this vision. It's crazy. He's basically like way in the future, and he meets Wolverine, and he realizes the world is in total destruction. So Ulysses basically gets out of Wolverine that Tony Stark has done something, right, to make the Earth like this. All he can get out of him is that he pushed her too far. But he says to Medusa, like, we have to stop the fighting. We have to stop the fighting. He's going to push her too far, and it's going to destroy the world. So Lockjaw teleports the Inhumans down to the battle. And Ulysses is like, listen, guys, you need to stop. And all of a sudden at once, all these visions, I mean, tons of insane visions of certain people dying and certain people killing other people and all these potential futures. Everyone sees them. And Miss Marvel basically takes down Iron Man. I mean, she hurts Tony. He is out. He is down for the count. His armor is destroyed and he is unconscious. In the end, Ulysses just kind of ends up evolving into basically a celestial. He leaves Earth, and the Inhumans are even like, well, I guess he's a higher power than us, and that's kind of that. And it's really crazy because you kind of realize that, yeah, his powers were not even completed at that point, right? They were still evolving, and obviously these visions, like Iron Man said, weren't even real, right? They were only potential futures. They were coding. They were algorithms. And that's basically what happens in Civil War 2. So hopefully we'll see it on the big screen sometime. And thanks for watching, guys. Comment below and let me know whose side you would be on, Miss Marvel's or Iron Man's. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. A huge thank you to superherostuff.com for this amazing Iron Man shirt. If you want your own, I'll put my link down there. And be sure to use the code MAMASGeeky15 and get yourself 15% off site-wide.